Hey, what's going on, people? Sitting in my room right now. Got the Super Bowl going on in the TV in the living room. I'm not really paying attention to it. The last big Super Bowl that I was geeked up to see was actually in 2006 when the Super Bowl was held in Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan that year. I was living in Richmond, Michigan during that time, and one of the bars and grills had this big, massive party with pizza, beer, snacks, chips, barbecue chips, you name it. And the place was fucking packed to the fucking core. You know, I remember people were buying me fucking shots left and right because I was the only one in that place that predicted that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to win that game against the Seattle Seahawks. Everybody's rooting for the Seattle Seahawks, but sadly I figured Pittsburgh would have the upper hand, and wouldn't you know, boom, they won. They had the higher ground, and everybody was buying me shots left and right because I was probably the only one who predicted that. Of course, the pretty was wasted by the end of the night. I remember one of the guys was telling me a couple of days later saying, I was so wasted, I was actually knocking inside of the entrance door. Gosh. Damn. You know what, I don't think I ever remembered it, you know. But you know how some shots are. Anyway, let's get to the subject here. I want to talk about the song Into the Fire by the group Dokken. Now, if you watch the show NWA Power, which is a wrestling program sponsored by the National Wrestling Alliance, they have their own YouTube channel. You know that it comes on every Tuesday night on YouTube at about 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you watch that show, you know that Into the Fire is the theme song for that program. And for what I understand, that song is now getting lots of hits, a lot of downloads, and a lot of other things because of it being on that show. You'll look at the videos or all the, whether it's just audio clips or the official videos or anything else or live videos of that song. You read all the comments up there. All you're going to see is NWA Power here, NWA Power there. Who's here because of NWA Power? Welcome to NWA Power. I'm Jim Cordell, what's his face, along with my co-host Jim Cornette or Stu Bennett and such, you know. All they're going to talk about is NWA Power, you know. Now, let me give a little background on this song. It came out in 1984 on one of their Dokken's albums entitled Tooth and Nail. It was a well-known radio hit during that time, along with two other songs from that disc. One of them is Alone Again, a power ballad, and another rockin' tune titled Just Got Lucky. I bet you right now all the current classic rock stations are probably playing the shit out of Into the Fire, probably as we speak, because of the NWA Power show and the publicity it's generated for the track. Now, I don't know who owns the copyright to Dokken's material. I understand it was Elektra/Rhino Records. But if I was one of the boys who worked for one of either of those labels, I would suggest, coming out with a remastering, reissue, deluxe edition of the Tooth and Nail album. It would be perfect, you know. They could sell it at the next NWA house show. Or they'd advertise it on their next NWA pay-per-view. What would even be better is have the original members of Dokken, singer Don Dokken, bassist Jeff Pilson, drummer Wild Mick Brown, and guitarist George Lynch, do a reunion performance at one of the next NWA pay-per-view events, including that song there. It will also be nice to have it on one of those 180 gram vinyl, I think it's regarded as. If that's what it's called, I believe so. It's been a while since I actually owned any new vinyl other than the Lustmord album, Dark Matter, a couple years back. You know, it'd be nice, you know. It'll also be nice to see Dokken on the road doing some shows together at some other wrestling promotions as well, especially NWA, of course, you know. Now, much credit goes to the owner of the NWA, Smashing Pumpkins guitarist and singer Billy Corgan. I guess he bought the NWA a couple years back and decided, you know, to bring back the nostalgia feel to when wrestling programs were taped in the studio and showed later on during the day. And plus that it was his choice, you know, to have that song as his theme song. Now, I also want to know how many hits on Spotify, YouTube, and all these downloading music sites has this song gotten since it's been on that program. It'll be interesting to see how many, most likely. And like I said, you'll read all the comments regarding whichever video it is, whether it's live, the original, or just an audio. All you're going to hear is NWA Power, here and there, left and right. So I guess the members of Dokken, and plus whoever wrote that song, is probably basking in royalty money as we speak, possibly. And here's something else I want to say something. And this is directed towards the kids of today who are now discovering this program. This was how wrestling shows were done back then. It was done in front of a small audience, in front of a wrestling ring, two commentators, wrestlers come in to wrestle, give promos, you know, say something to the audience that they said something to you. You know, that was how it was done back then. The NWA back in 1984, 85, 88, before it became World Championship Wrestling. The USWA used to do that back in the day. And plus all these territorial wrestling programs like Florida Championship Wrestling, Georgia Championship Wrestling, Portland, Oregon Championship Wrestling. All those areas used to do it in front of studio audiences back then. And plus, also, to the kids today, you know, this is Billy Corgan's way of introducing retro rock to the new crowd today. Basically, this is the heavy metal that we grew up listening to when we were kids. You know, never mind some of the bands today like Bring Me the Horizon or Black Veil Brides. This is the stuff we used to listen to in our prime, whether it's Dokken, Rat, Twisted Sister, you know, bands like Exciter or early Metallica, Whitesnake. I think that also should be addressed as well. So all you kids out there that's curious about the song, definitely look it up, you know, see if you could order that album Tooth and Nail by chance if you can. Go for it. Alright, that's all I got to say right now. About to head out to the living room there, see what's going on, see if there's anything to eat. I'm Dr. Earl. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button and leave some comments below. We're going into the fire, people. Into the fire!